Peace to all. I'm back again on another subject I wanted to talk about, and that is prosper or lose. Isn't that how we're brought up? You prosper or you lose. From our childhood, we are taught these concepts, and we are quote unquote programmed, trained, mesmerized, hypnotized, deluded, deceived, or told the truth. The last one usually never happens. So, what does prosper mean or successful? To win, prosper is to win, be successful is to win, to be on top, not to lose the other side. So, when I ask you, or someone asks you, what does it mean to be prosperous? What does it mean to prosper, to be successful? What is the answer in your souls, in your hearts? What do you think? What do you desire? And the vast majority of us deluded mankind will answer, yeah, money, wealth, my degrees, my education, my status in life, my friends, all these things will come. And on top of everything is obviously wealth in our minds, the amount of wealth we accumulate. And that is to prosper. That is fundamentally what everybody thinks. If you think other than that, then you are the oddity, you are the exception, and you are the loser, obviously, in the system, because you are not running after progress to achieve more and more, to set up your kingdom on the earth, which will last forever and ever, and then some ever more. So, this is what we're running after. Look around you. If it's other than that, then I must be completely deluded in what I'm looking at around me on the earth today, because I see nothing other than education. I made this, I developed that. Look at the little toy I made. How many people have bought that? To be able to set up a business, to be able to make a business successful, to be able to set up your institutions to forward their purpose, whatever that purpose may be. It doesn't matter. It's just get it done. That's what it is. Just do it, as your Nike Lord will tell you. Just do it. Don't ask questions. Just do it. So let's look at what the Quran says about this aspect and why we love all these things that are immaterial in the big picture, but we love them all the same. So let's see, this is chapter 3, made beautiful to the mankind, love of the desires from the women and the sons, and the treasures the treasured from the gold and the silver, and the rides the shaped, and the animals and the land, that sustenance of the life of the world, and God with him good the abode. So now you understand why we think prospering is this, because that's our innate desire. This is what is made beautiful to us, and Satan takes advantage of that, has been taking advantage of that forever. Go and look up your history books and what happened to generations before us and what they ran after and what we run after. It's just that the little trinkets that you have are shinier some days and not so shiny other days, i.e., in generations they are shinier and some generations they're less. We think that we are getting shinier and shinier, when in reality, we are nothing close to the shininess of the creations of those, the ancient ones before us that lived there thousands of years ago, which have been wiped out. None of their remnants remain, except a few that we can see. They've all been massacred, they've been decimated, they died, just like we will die. So this is what is made beautiful to the mankind. And if there's any flaw in this, you're not looking at the reality in front of you, obviously. And the messenger says, or I inform you with better from that to you, to those who fear, with their Lord gardens flowing from beneath them, the rivers living in them, and spouses pure, and happiness from God. And God watches with the servants. So now what is the messenger telling you? What it should be like to you? What should you be doing? What is better than that? Fear God. Fear God, and He will give you gardens flowing beneath them, the rivers. They living in them with spouses pure and happiness from God. This Is this better or this better? Of course, if you believe there is no God and there is no hereafter, you will focus on this. Verse number 14, you will fall for this, and guess what? All of you have fallen. I mean, I say all of you, when I speak all, I mean all that have fallen. If you're like me, fine, I'm not talking to you about that. If you're like what the book tells you to be, I'm not accusing you of this, but I'm talking about the general mankind today, and they've all fallen for this hook, line, and sinker. It's all about economy, growth, progress, technology, more and more little gadgets to make our lives easier, apparently, which make our lives so much more difficult that we have no understanding what we're doing to ourselves with this so-called technology that has advanced us so far, that we are almost touching the heaven. Or you want this, if you believe in the hereafter, and you know what you're going to get in the hereafter, which is encapsulated in all the books of God, especially the Torah, the Bible, and the Quran, then this garbage on the earth will seem like complete BS. You will never pay any attention to it, except that you need your food and water, you do little stuff, and you live day to day. And you plan for the tomorrow. When you can, you save. When you can't, you spend. I mean, that's how it works. So this is how the reality of the situation is. But you have to understand, the one who rejects God and the hereafter, this is a statement of absolute folly. This statement is absolute folly, complete garbage, liar, loser. This guy is a loser. And guess what? You call this guy the loser when he comes to you, all of you. And this guy who comes to make you, give you women and treasures and sons and gold and silver and right shaped all these cars, boats, trains, planes, the animals, the land. Yeah, you love this guy. He's bringing me this. This is the reality. So let's look at what in actuality is success and failure by the book of God. So this is the first few lines of the second chapter of the Quran. That the book, no doubt in it, guidance to the pious, those they believe with the unseen, and they make constant the prayer, and from what we sustain them, they spend. And those they believe with what's sent down to you, you is the messenger, the Quran. This is what is sent down to the messenger. And what's sent down from before you, what was sent down from before me, the Torah and the Bible and all the other books of God. And with the hereafter, they assure it. So look at that. They believe with the unseen, the absent, apparently absent people who are right around us, the angels, the spirit, God, and God knows what else, yeah. Those over guidance from their Lord, and those, they the successful or prosperous. These are the successful ones. Those they break promise of God from after ratifying it, and they cut what commands God with it that they join, and they war in the earth, those, they the losers. So look around you, who's warring in the earth today? Unjustly. The war of God will come justly. The war of the believers will come justly only. They will never bring war unjustly. A believer will never instigate war. A believer will bring war to those who war them or him. That is how it works with the believers. Those, we brought them the book, they read it, truth of its reading. Those, they believe with it. And one, he rejects with it, but those, they the losers. Reject the book of God, you're a loser. And one, he seeks other than the submission away, but not will he accept from him, and he in the hereafter from the loser. So now when they talk about Islam, submission is Islam. So anyone who accepts or seeks other than submission away, submission to whom? God. God you're submitting to. You're not submitting to anyone else. And God is not seen. He is not a entity that you can see in this life. Okay, you have to die to see him. That's the way God has set it up. So he will not accept it from him. You are, and other than submitting to God at the initiation of your faith, he will not accept anything from you, and he will be from the losers in the hereafter. O you, those who believe, don't you eat the usury adding, and fear God, maybe you prosper, and fear the fire, the one prepared to the rejectors. So here's all your system is based on usury today. Everywhere on the earth almost that is seen is based on the usurious system. Interest and usury is the same thing. Whoever comes up with this garbage that interest is not the same as usury, anything you charge for lending money, which is as it is fake, the money that you live on, will be held accountable and will be from the losers. You don't eat usury. God has forbidden it. And fear him. He is going to bring his war. And keeps bringing it. He keeps destroying your systems, and then you keep resurrecting the same garbage throughout the millennia. The same garbage, and then you add more garbage to it. O you, those who believe, if you obey those who reject, they will turn you back over your heels, but you will return losers. So we don't obey any of these people, the ones who believe. We will not obey the rejectors. The rejectors are clearly mentioned in this book, and that is the vast majority of mankind walking the earth today. So there's no way in hell I will be following them or obeying them. If they have any idea of the reality, they will be obeying me or people like me. But God, your protector, and he better of the helpers. He's going to protect and help me. I don't need your help, nor your protection. O you, those who believe, wait and be patient and be strong and fear God. Maybe you prosper. So who are the ones who are going to be successful as per the book? They wait, patient, they be strong, and they fear God. Pretty straightforward. And any he rejects with the faith, but are shut off his deeds, and he in the hereafter from the losers. Here we go again. Who are the losers? One who's going to reject the faith. The faith is what is encapsulated in the books of God, and the messengers bring you that. So here is the story of the two sons of Adam, one who killed the other. So here's God. I'll read this to over you. And read over them news of sons of Adam with the truth. Behold, both made closeness, but accepted from one of them both, and not he accepted from the other. So both the sons of Adam made an offering to God, a closeness to God, but God only accepted it from one of them. He said, to my surely killing you. So the one obviously jealous, he is not, his closeness is not being accepted by God. He's telling his brother, I'm going to kill you. The brother says, he said, surely what he accepts God from the pious. So God will only accept from the pious. If you extend to me your hand to your killing me, not I with extending my hand to you, to my killing you. Surely I fear God, Lord of the knowing. Surely I want that you establish with my sins and your sins, but you be from companions of the fire, and that repaying of the wrongdoers. But she forced to him his soul, killing his brother. So killed him, but became from the loser. So now, he's a loser. You kill someone for just envy, jealousy, because you feel like it, you don't like him, you don't like what he tells you or he looks like. You're going to take his sins and your sins, and you're going to end up in the fire. So guess who's going to be a loser? These are the losers. O you, those who believe, fear God and seek to him the connection and struggle in his path. Maybe you prosper. Here we go. Fear God. Connect with him. Struggle in his path. What is his path? The path is in the books. The righteous, truthful path is in the books of God. And all the books are telling you more or less the same thing of what is righteousness. You will never read it, nor will you believe it, because your understanding of success and prosper is your indoctrination through your education all your lives, and you will never change that until you realize you have been fooled by the Satan himself. O you, those who believe, surely what the alcohol and the gambling and the evil and the raffling abomination from deeds of the Satan, but push him away, maybe you prosper. So these actions of alcohol, gambling, raffling, these are Satan's deeds to make you astray. They're not forbidden. But the way we handle them, the way we treat alcohol, gambling, and raffling, all the lotteries and everything, we go into absolute evilness, and that's from abomination from deeds of the Satan. Push him away, push the Satan away. You can still have alcohol, you can still gamble, you can still have your lotteries, but the way and the extreme we go to is the Satan's deeds. And maybe you'll prosper if you push him away, the Satan, but he's got you, he's got your soul. And who wrongs more from one who makes up over God falsehood or falsifies with his signs? Surely he, not he makes prosperous, the wrongdoer. So you falsify with God's signs, or you make up over God falsehood, you're not going to be prosperous. There's going to be no prosperity for you. Oh, but the prosperity is making money, I guess. Then the messenger says, oh, my people, do over your places. Surely I will do. But soon you will know one to be him and the home. Surely he, not he makes prosperous the wrongdoer. So the messenger will tell you, I will do over my places, you do over yours. Do what you wish, they say, yeah? The Quran says, do what you wish. Obviously, God is going to let you do what you wish when you cross one side or the other. If you wish to be in God's side, He will let you do that. If you wish to be against God, He will let you do that. Do what you wish. Ain't going to change God's plan. It's just where you are in His plan that's going to change. Okay, so let's look at this Shoaib, the messenger Shoaib who came to Madian and the woods, when he said, follow me, obey me, don't do what I'm not telling you to do. What I'm telling you to do, stop doing. That you are. I'm mixing my words there. So he told them, don't do what is wrong, told them what is righteousness. And then the chief said, and said the chiefs, those who rejected from his people, if you follow Shoaib, surely you then to be losers. So whenever you follow a messenger who is obviously not rich or famous or beautiful or tall or short or whatever is your fancy, you're going to be losers. And he's telling you all this stuff that is against what you want and your desires. So the chiefs, the leaders that you have even today will say the same thing. If you follow Shoaib, surely you then to be losers. But grab them the hitting, but they became in their homes vanquished. That's what happens when the messenger is rejected and God's had enough of them, He destroys them. Those who falsified Shoaib like that, not they self-sufficient in them. Those who falsified Shoaib, they the losers. You falsify the messenger, you reject the messenger, you're going to be the losers. Trust it. It's going to happen. So this is about where God tells Moses what's going to happen. So Moses already knew about the Bible and the Quran coming and Jesus and Muhammad to come after him. So this is Moses asking God, and write to us in this the world good, and in the hereafter surely we guided to you. So this is there's another, you can read this if you want. It's in chapter 7, verse 155 and beyond. So, and write to us in this the world good, and in the hereafter surely we guided to you. So God responds, my punishment I bring with it any I wish, and my mercy encompasses everything. But soon I will write it to those they fear, and they bring the purity, and those they with our signs they believe. Those they will follow the messenger, the prophet, the illiterate, the one they will find him written with them in the Torah and the Injil. He will command them with the goodness, and he will stop them over the weirdness, and he will allow to them the goods, and he will forbid over them the wickednesses, and he will lower over them their strictness and the binds which they are over them. So those who believe with him, and they honor him, and they help him, and they follow the light which sent down with him, those they the prosperous. So God is telling Moses, the Bible hasn't even come, and he's telling them it's going to happen. It's written in the Torah, it's written in the Injil. The illiterate prophet will come, who was Muhammad. Obviously, he came and he's commanded this book to all mankind and his followers, and none of them follow it, and the rest of mankind reject it with absolute contempt. And the contempt God will show them will soon be apparent. Whether you see it or I see it or don't does not matter. One, he guides God, but he the guided, and one, he makes astray, but those, they the losers. So whoever God makes astray is a loser, and one he guides, he's the guided. So it's as simple as that. But why is he going to guide one and make astray the other? And he becomes a loser. You need to do a little bit of soul searching for yourself, why God would do that. To his sorting out God the wicked from the good, and his making the wicked some of it over other, but is putting it together altogether, but is making it in hell. Those, they the losers. The one who will enter hell will be the losers. O you, those who believe, when you meet a party, but be strong and remember God much, maybe you prosper. So this is when you meet the enemy in battle. Be strong and remember God. Maybe you should prosper. Maybe. It's like a lot of it is maybe. Yeah. We are not for sure going to succeed, but maybe we will. But the messenger and those who believe with him, they struggle with their wealth and their souls, and those to them the goods, and those they the prosperous. So when you see goods, it's not like your goods tax area. Goods are the things that are good. I've used this I've taken a little liberty. the khairat, the good stuff, the goods to them, the good stuff to them. They are the prosperous. So Moses said, are you saying to the truth when it comes to you? Is magic this? And not he makes prosperous the magicians. So understand, these magicians will never prosper. But they prosper on the earth because they have money, wealth, right? That's how you judge. This is the folly of your judgment. Just because you're wealthy doesn't make you a successful person. Just because you are poor does not make you a loser. It has no meaning. Either or has no meaning in success and failure in the book of God. And don't you surely be from those who falsify with signs of God, but you would be from the losers. Don't falsify with these signs. Don't reject them. You will lose. Those who lose this. So what is this? Okay, there's a lot going on here. I'm not going to read all of this. You can if you want, to chapter 11. So basically, those who lose their souls and astray over them, what they are, they're making up. Those who reject God, no doubt, surely they in the hereafter, they're the losers. So those who lose their souls to Satan, those who lose their souls to God, they will be the successful. One who rejects with God from after his faith, except one forced, and his heart tranquil with the faith. But one who cleaves open with the rejection chest, but over them anger from God, and to them punishment great. So you can lie if somebody is telling you got to reject. If you don't, I'm going to kill you. You can say, yeah, okay, I reject, if your heart is fine. So you can be a hypocrite, and that's fine in that case. That with surety they strive, loving the life of the world over the hereafter. And surely God, not he guides the people, the rejecting. Those are the ones he's not going to guide. You reject the hereafter, you reject God, you reject his books, you reject the angels, you reject the messengers. Those shuts God over their hearts and their hearings and their sights, and those, they the oblivious. No doubt, surely they in the hereafter, they the losers. The real losers are going to be in the hereafter. You got to understand that. And don't you say to what utter your tongues the falsehood, this allowed and this disallowed. To your making up over God the falsehood. Surely those, they make up over God the falsehood, not they prosper. So they're not going to prosper. Sustenance little, and to them punishment grievous. Don't try disallowing food that has been allowed. And don't start allowing things that are disallowed. This is the fundamental. And what's been allowed and disallowed is clearly spoken of in the books of God. And there's really not much if you look at how much we have on the earth. So, another place. O you, those who believe, bow and prostrate and serve your Lord and do the goods. Maybe you prosper. So, where is the money here? Where is the wealth? Where is my CEO ship or CFO ship, or my companies, or my boats and planes and trains that I need to get to be prosperous? I guess it's going to come later in the Quran, yeah. And one he calls with God, God other, no evidence to him with it. But surely what his account with his Lord, surely he, not he makes prosperous the rejectors. The rejectors will never prosper. And he will say, oh, look, they control the earth. Yeah, this earth is nothing. Absolutely nothing compared to what's coming. Surely what is saying of the believers when they call to God and his messengers, to his judging between them, that they say we listen and we obey. And those, they're the prosperous. Obey God and obey the messengers. It's simple. Oh, it's not that simple. Surely those, not they believe with the hereafter, we beautify to them their deeds. But they wander around. Look around you. Everybody's wandering around the earth aimlessly because it's so beautiful to them. Those to them evil the punishment. And they in the hereafter, they the losers. But one who turns and believes and does righteousness, but maybe that he be from the prosperous. Maybe, even when we turn, we don't succeed because we're fools in our hearts. We are really deluded. We don't understand the reality. There's so much. I'm not going to go through all of it. You can read it for yourself if you want. It's up to you. So here's another one in chapter 31. Alif Lam Mim. These signs of the book, the wise, guidance and mercy to the doers of good. Those, they make constant the prayer, and they bring the purity. And they with the hereafter, they assure it. This is replicating in a way what we read in chapter 2. Those over guidance from their Lord, and those, they the prosperous. So this is the messenger. God I serve, exclusively to him my way. So serve what you wish from other than him. So, this is do what you want is fundamentally it. It's your choice. Say, surely the losers, those they lose their souls and their keepers day of the standing. Is not that it the loss declare? If you would understand. To him keys of the heavens and the earths, and those who reject with signs of God, those, they're the losers, quite clear. And already inspired to you and to those from before you. This is the messenger being told. If you partnered to his surely shutting off your deeds, and to your surely being from the loser. So I can never partner anything with God if I have half a cell working in my brain. I have been inspired to serve God and be thankful to him. And ask his forgiveness, which has been inspired to every messenger before me. And to all believers is the same. We don't partner with God. You people partner with God, the rest of mankind. And you don't understand what partnering with God means because you have no knowledge of the book and you have no knowledge of how you set up equals to God in your hearts. And you will see them, they turned over her. Her is the fire here in this verse. Humbled from the ignominy. They're looking from glances fearfully. And will say, those who believe, surely the losers, those who lost their souls and their keepers day of the standing, are not surely the wrongdoers in punishment constant. So that day, whoever's lost his soul and the keepers are the ones you live with, are the losers. A day he will bring them out, God altogether. But they will swear to him like what they swear to you. And they will think, surely they over a thing. Are not surely they're the falsifiers. That day they're going to be swearing, yeah, we believe we didn't do this. Yeah, just like mankind just likes to defend themselves all the time from their follies, but that day there will be no defense. Overcomes over them the Satan, but they forget remembrance of God. They party of the Satan. Is not surely party of the Satan, they the losers. You would wonder, looks like they're the victors here, yeah. Not will you find people, they believing with God and the day, the later. They loving one who blocks God and his messengers. And if they are their fathers, or their sons, or their brothers, or their friends, those written in their hearts the faith, and they strengthened with spirit from him. And he will admit them gardens flowing from beneath them, the rivers living in them. Happy God over them, and they happy over him. They party of God. Is not surely party of God. They the successful. Question to you. Both of these are questions you have to answer for yourself. Nobody wants to give up their friends and brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers for God and the messengers. Yeah, that is what it is. O you, those who believe, not to distract you, your wealth, and not your children, over remembrance of God. And any, he does that, but those, they're the losers. So guess what? Wealth and children are not distracting you over remembrance of God. Then you must be believers. I'm just joking. You're all lost. So fear God what you capable, and listen and obey and spend better to your souls. And any he stops desires of his soul, but those, they the prosperous. Control your souls, control the desires, and you will succeed. You let go of all your desires, I want everything, and you're given everything, you're all happy. So, after reading just that amount, there's so much more. It's pretty clear that what you guys believe is success is pretty much tantamount to failure in the biggest picture. And what you consider to be loss and failure or being totally destitute is actually success. If you recall, some of these people in the Christian communities talk about the first will be the last will be the first. This is a pretty good example of that today, yeah. The last day will be the first that day. That's usually the case at the end of each generation's time before God vanquishes them into the oblivion that they deserve. And thus will they be vanquished soon enough. So I want to talk about just one more aspect here. Okay, yeah, it's chapter 90 and verse 17. So this is God speaking to us. Does he think that not he sees him anyone? He's talking about the idiot who talks about destroying wealth wrapped. They all love spending and destroying wealth. Did not we make to him two eyes and a tongue and two lips? And we guide him the two paths, but not joins the end. And what will make you understand what the end? Freeing captives, or feeding in a day with deprivation, orphan with closeness, or poor with dirt, then will be from those who believe, and ordain with the patience, and ordain with the mercy, those companions of the right. So these are the companions of the right. Of course, I haven't told you about the right, left, and the close ones that will come later, but on that day, there will be three groups: the companions of the right, the companions of the left, and the close ones of God. The companions of the right will go to the garden. The close ones will go to the highest garden. There are two levels of bliss in the hereafter. Both are good enough for anyone. And then the people of the left, or companions of the left, are the ones who are going to be in the hellfire. So this is how you join the end, by freeing captives, feeding in the day with deprivation, orphan with closeness, or poor with dirt. Then will be from those who believe, and ordain with the patience, and ordain with the mercy. And this is secondary. I'll show you what the primary aspect of this is. This is the chapter, the strictness. They have no idea what this means. Everybody calls this the time for prayer of Asr. No, this is strictness. This and the strictness, surely the man to be in loss, except those who believe and do the righteousness, and ordain with the truth, and ordain with the patience. So man is in loss, period, except if you do this. So understand that your success will only come if you're this. Otherwise you will lose, no matter what you think. Those who believe, the faith that is in this book, I've told you many times, you can go look it up, chapter 2, read the last two verses. The second last is the actual covenant. And do the righteousness, and ordain with the truth, and ordain with the patience. So if you look at this line, the statement, the belief is first. There will be no righteousness done unless there is true faith, the faith that is ordained by God. And there will be no truth ordained until you do righteousness. You got to do the righteousness first before you start telling people about the truth and ordain with the truth. You got to be righteous before, and there cannot be any righteousness before faith. And then there will be patience. There will be no patience if there is no truth. If someone lies to you, how patient are you with him, her, whoever it is? We show no patience to the liars if you find out they're liars. And when you find out the whole world is lying to you, then you go crazy in the head. Yeah, because you can't understand that how can everybody be lying, and the truth can be hidden so clearly and in plain sight, and that's unacceptable for most people. So there's going to be no righteousness before belief. There's going to be no truth ordained before righteousness. There will be no patience before truth. And we just read the last line here in this chapter, which ends it all up. It tells you about what is joining the end, and then it will be of those who ordain with the patience and ordain with the mercy. There will be no mercy without patience. You have to be patient with God as well to get his mercy. So this applies carte blanche everywhere. This is the sequence. Everybody wants to be, oh, mercy, mercy, mercy. Hey, where's your faith? Where's the righteousness? Where's the truth? Where's the patience? Yeah, before that, there's no mercy. So this is the way of the system that we live in and what we have been set up on the earth and our life here. This is how it works. It works in every way. If you don't believe with the system, you will get no righteousness from them defined by the system, which is lies. You have to understand it applies to any kind of sequence that you put in place. Any faith that is put in place has to be believed before that righteousness comes to you from that faith. And all our righteousness is based on the faith in the life of the world. And that will take you to your end understanding of what prosperous means, which is absolute lies. It's complete lies. I mean, mankind is so deluded today that, when I look at these signs of God and those people that are following these signs and what they're doing and saying about this book, it's like absolute blasphemy upon blasphemy and rejection of God. And they go kill people for saying 3 words against Muhammad or what they say Muhammad said. they just go kill him. I mean, these people have no clue what's going on. They're going to get their due pretty soon. And that is an absolute truth that will not be falsified. It's not like I'm here to tell you it's coming tomorrow, but the destruction is coming. It's getting closer. Every day you look at mankind, how they're behaving on the earth, and you will see more and more absolute wretchedness and this pervasive lewdness and deception that is put in front of you that makes you desire all the garbage that you should be running away from. And having said all of that, there is no harm in having wealth. It's not like you have to be a pauper like the Christian. Oh, we have to. The clergy professes like we're going to be celibate and we're going to profess poverty for ourselves. We're going to be poor, and look at how they live. I mean, are you guys nuts? I mean, these people are probably the richest people on the earth, your clergy, and you think they are living in poverty, yeah? Because they don't show you how they live. It's a joke out there, I tell you. It's an absolute joke. They're going to be the biggest losers because you make a wealth on the signs of God, on the backs of the signs of God. There's no hope in the hereafter for you if you actually believe there is a hereafter. So, this is how it works. Your idea of success is actually failure. And your idea of failure is actually success. That is how you've been taught today. I mean, don't blame anyone except yourself for accepting that and not reading the reality and doing a little bit of soul searching that, yeah, I mean, nobody lasts forever. How they're promising me that I'm going to last forever and making me work for my retirement where I'm feeding them and working like a slave day night to get to that 67-year-old or 65 or 60 for my retirement, and then my body is falling apart and now I can enjoy my life. Well, you lost it, buddy. You enjoy your life till you get to 40 and make sure you enjoy it well, because after 40 there's no enjoyment in this life. It's a hard path from there till death, and those who die early are the lucky ones if they believe. The ones who don't believe, doesn't matter what age you die, your end will be the fire. So anyway, that was all I wanted to talk to you about today, and hopefully it clarifies a little bit about what the Quran actually says about what is success and what needs to be sought after. God's mercy, forgiveness, His love, His kindness, His grace. Till the next time, peace.